Does everybody here remember looking at your dictionary and looking up sex words and trying to figure out what sex was by the dictionary, and it just doesn't tell you anything? So I had this little dictionary in the 4th grade, and I wasn't looking up those kinds of words then, but coitus, what's that? And the explanation doesn't really tell you anything either. So we're all lucky to be here, aren't we? And I'm thinking about that a lot, and I'm going to read Ode on Luck, because when I was a young person, I did all kinds of crazy things, and I still can't believe I'm standing up here talking to you and not in a ditch someplace. It was just, I took chances. Still can't, and I took substances that people just gave me, and I didn't know them. So it's, I feel extra lucky to be here. Ode on Luck. What was he thinking when I got into cars with boys I hardly knew and drove to houses out in the country, where my screams would be muffled by the oaks and pines and the teeming carpet of mushrooms, too stupid to know I wasn't even close to being free, though I thought I was. But all that happened was we listened to Blood on the Tracks and tried to write down lyrics in the flickering of candles, and I was dropped off at my apartment, all too alive to the possibilities of mayhem. Where was I going when I walked down the streets in my armor of beauty and youth, lying in the sun and thinking of Anais Nin in Paris, Rimbaud in Abyssinia, Kafka in Prague? How did I translate my dreams into Italian? Not by planning, that's for sure, because I had no plans, unless you could call reading a plan, or daydreaming plan, or making soup a plan. So if I could ask Lady Luck, what was the secret to wooing her? She might say not getting a fig was a big part of it. Also being happy with a stack of books and infinite cups of tea. Or watching all those bummer foreign films like The Marriage of Maria Brown and Last Year at Marienbad. Throwing the tarot 100 million times to see what was going to happen in the future when it was going to happen anyway. Or visiting psychics who were canny in the extreme, figuring out pretty quickly that when they told me I was going to have 2, 3, 6 children, the look of revulsion on my face meant that this was not my dream come true. Though there was the one in Houston who said that in a few days I was going to have someone scream at me, but not to get involved because I had nothing to do with what was going on. And a few days later, that's what happened. One of my best students started screaming at me, but it was because her mother was trying to take her daughter from her, and I was a great stand-in, maybe looked like her mother, so that was a piece of luck. Me being tipped off by the psychic, and Deborah having someone to yell at, i.e. me, her poetry mom, who in no way wanted her daughter. And I've had my share of mommies saying snarky things to me on this same subject because they have no idea how much work children are, even though they are adorable. But being the oldest in a big family, I knew, so that too was a piece of luck. Though when I was changing my little brother's diaper, it didn't really look like it. But that's the thing about Lady Luck. She can show up dressed in rags, smoking a corncob pipe, and then reappear 20 years later looking like Glinda in The Wizard of Oz. It being a matter of translating your own life to yourself.